Guys, I have an important announcement. I have indigestion. Oh, Godzilla. Everyone's favorite giant basketball playing, jet skiing king of the monsters. I hope I don't gotta explain what Godzilla is at this point, because you definitely know the basics. Sadly, most people only know just the basics. Godzilla is a 70-year-old series, but besides him being a giant laser spinning creature of the ocean, and maybe like 3 of his enemies, most people don't know the lore of the dude. The timeline of Godzilla goes that he was a horrific mutation brought to life by nuclear fallout, symbolizing the horrors of war and bombs. Then he danced and dropped kick a dude and flew backwards, and then -1 happened, and he's good again. But no, Godzilla was always awesome and rad. Granted, the movies have been getting a second look thanks to Shin, -1, and MonsterVerse. Most of the franchise is still as deep in the depths as the original monster. One of the most overlooked parts, though, has got to be his TV series. Being the icon he is, Godzilla has gotten numerous TV shows across the years. The problem, though? Well, a lot. These shows are all across the decades, ranging from comedic to serious, live action to animated, American to Japanese. Despite the astronomical size of Godzilla, these are all overlooked by most casual fans. So I'm diving down to the depths of the seas to look at the King of the Monsters TV shows. All of them. Okay, so this was really going to be a collab between me and my friend Galil. I would cover the Godzilla shows, he would cover the Godzilla games. The thing is, despite him himself reaching out to me to do this video back in September, he has not worked on anything, despite me dropping everything to work on this script. And this has been done for nearly like a year close to that. So he just finally said, Stripe, frick it, just do it yourself. So do it myself. There's no side video to accomplish this. Everyone go in the comments, type in the chat, Glow's Tinky Poo Poo Face. So join me as we head to Japan to look at Godzilla's many weird shows, and I try to see how many times I can shove in reference to your DMs. I desperately need to get more into the tokusatsu genre. Like, yeah, I'm into kaiju, that's like the sister genre, but never gotten into the actual thing. Solely out of lack of time. Zone Fighter seems like a great way to start off. The show focuses around the Zone family, who seem like a normal family, but are actually aliens. So normal family, that's just my cousin Greg. They left their planet because they were invaded by an evil alien race named the Gargon, who turn their eyes to Earth now. Also, they become giant superheroes who punch people. This is just pure fun monster fights, and it's awesome. So this is most certainly not weak tokusatsu. It's way harder than tofu. So, where the frick is Godzilla? Well, okay, this isn't really a Godzilla show, but he makes just sword appearances throughout the show. We had the great fights with kaiju and aliens, not always great effects, but now the silly lizard is here. He also brought his two best friends, Triclite and the Razor Chicken. Gigan is a little nerfed though, he can't fly or use his saw blades, but he gets to be like a silly little guy, so I don't care if he had no arms or legs. He's still always gonna be my weird little chicken, ball, lizard, ugly creature thing. Godzilla is just kind of the pet of the family basically, but it's a really fun series. It makes a good introduction to tokusatsu. There is a higher than zero chance that Godzilla Power Hour was an introduction to Godzilla. It aired a bit on Cartoon Network and Boomerang at the time, and I do remember seeing it as a kid, so it's very possible that my introduction to this whole world was Godzuki. I've never been the same since. The show is viewed pretty mixedly nowadays, as it dumbs down Godzilla a lot to a cheap kids show, but it's got its charm. So, what do I think? Well, I like it. It's definitely cheap and dumb, but it's on the higher tier of animation from Hanna-Barbera. Not the highest compliment, but hey, I stand by it. Like, the fight scenes are pretty good for a cheap 70s show, and as you'll come to see, no monsters beside Godzilla are a rarity. And I start with this. The most pretty generic. It gets a little boring if you see him constantly tongue-wrestling T-Rexes and sea snakes, but a few are pretty cool, like Axor, a snake monster that terrorizes an island, or this amoeba monster. Oh, there's also Godzuki, the scrappy dude of Godzilla. He's whatever. He's kind of annoying. He and the family that Godzilla follows around are fine enough. Honestly, Godzilla's like Captain Planet in this show, where the team just kind of summons him whenever there's a threat.
You're right. Living in the darkness, it can't stand the light.
Oh, like a League of Legends player. Overall, it's fun enough for a kid's show. Nostalgia carries it, but it's solid.
We're sorry we shot down your flying machine and... Achtung!
Wait, what did they just say? While there's a ton of Godzilla media for kids, it's important to realize that at the core of the franchise, Godzilla is a horror series. We need something to remind us why this creature is truly the king of the monsters. That's why the next series discusses the most horrific, terrifying thing of all time. Children. Godzilla Land is a series about all the monsters of the series as kids on an island being watched over by the one adult, Mothra, who teaches them about math and numbers and stuff like that. In America, we got Elmo. In Japan, they got Godzilla. So, what does this 25-year-old adult American think of this baby show? Honestly, I enjoyed it. It's just fun to see these classic monsters just having fun being friends. It feels a little cursed to see Ghidorah as a good guy. It feels like cursed to have all of his heads be Big Bird. Seeing the characters be little silly billies is definitely the best part compared to the educational parts. But like, that's to be expected because, again, adult. I make videos about kids shows and I also pay taxes. There's actually multiple seasons of the series. Later seasons introduce more characters, like Mechagodzilla, who's a local bully, Gigan, who just want to hug so badly, and even a new character who's a female Godzilla. Heck, they even use live action skits occasionally. Yeah, it's your standard preschool show, but it has Godzilla, so it's based and stuff. Godzilla's Island is a really stupid but really fun series. Released in 1997 to promote Bandai's then recent toy line, this is a series of 3-minute shorts focusing on a group of humans studying an island of Godzilla characters. A Godzilla island, if you will. Before the island gets noticed by some aliens who want to take it over too. This splits the focus up from the humans, in live action, studying the monsters who occasionally fight each other and aliens, with the monsters being from the toys from the Bandai line. I love this. It's silly, it's cheesy, but it just reminds me of being a kid and slamming toys together. Pretending to have all these special abilities that you can't see, but trust me, they're real. This time they just have After Effects green screens to rely on. It definitely feels cheap, like again the effects. They don't even attempt to hide that these are toys. And since the humans are in are like Destructric skit level, but god, I love it. Weird full episode dance party and all. The official Godzilla YouTube channel started to slowly upload subtitle versions in 2023, but even without them, the series is a lot of simple childhood fun. It also gave us the Kaiju vending machine. I want this in real life. Oh, Godzilla 98. What a movie you are. Well, not the worst Godzilla movie. It's hard not to admit this film did a lot to his reputation. Looking back, I don't know, it's kind of fun. But yeah, it's not a good Godzilla movie. I mean, come on, what kind of bumpy chump gets pumped by Ferris Bueller? There's a lot of fishy stuff for this movie. Most of all, the gender swapped Godzilla. Kinda weird they left his balls on the cleaning room floor, but it did mean the Godzilla of that film gave birth, and that led to the show based on the movie, released in the same year. A little weird knowing that this is of all things got a cartoon, but shockingly, this one's pretty good. Focuses on the son of the film's Godzilla, who the humans of the film managed to befriend, and acts as a sort of attack dog they used against a variety of monsters that attack the city. Obviously, the cast of the film didn't return, and instead the main guy is the guy from Sharknado. Why is he using Godzilla to fight the monsters? Just do this. It's very similar to the Hanna-Barbera show, which more focused on the humans with Godzilla only appearing to fight the monster, but it's fine since the human cast are actual characters instead of cutouts and the animation is overall better. Overall, yeah, this is a really fun show. And of course, way better than the movie. Not sure why so many of these are made for little babies, but the next is Godzilla. It's a puppet show focused on the 3 Godzilla brothers. Godzilla himself, Little, and since this is kid stuff, they send it to Manila. All the episodes are in Japanese, so I understand what's going on, but like, I assume they're discussing the downfall of the Roman Empire. Like Godzilla Land, this is just really cute. The puppet's really well made. The series goes on. Basically every notable monster is included. Weirdly, the only ones in the initial intro though are Mothra Larva and Hedorah, because nothing is more adorable than a grub in a living garbage dump. The first episode starts with Manila building up a giant roar. Oh dear god, I hope it ends on a fart joke. Oh thank god! Genuinely, the stop motion puppetry here is ridiculously impressive for a children's web series. If you're interested in Godzilla at all, honestly, I'd recommend giving at least a few of these a watch. Godzilla of Bam Bam. I Am Home Chibi Godzilla is a 3D animated series made in Japan that was put on YouTube. It was originally lost media for a time after it was nuked from the official Godzilla's YouTube channel. Weird, sorry Godzilla wasn't mean for that. But it's since been found. It's pretty similar to the other series of it being just a young Godzilla and other monsters being raised by a girl who's his owner, I guess. A lot of Japanese CGI series look uncanny. This is no exception. But it's got a cute vibe to it. Not a phenomenal series, but it's a cute short watch that I'm glad we found. Godzilla Singular Point is an anime series that dropped on Netflix back in 2021. It's definitely a divisive series, but this is the Godzilla fandom, and I realize everything is divisive for them. It focuses on this weird red mist that's forming, causing people to bleed from their eyes, and have the urge to kill himself after seeing Star-Lord cry. Oh, and also it's making these kaiju appear around Japan to engineer for a new robot, Yuna Rikara, and a graduate student who has interest in monsters, Mai Kamino, who looks like an older Ace Rolla, team up to investigate it. They come to the conclusion that the Lizard of Thunder is questioning the girl, and it's the foot she comes under. Like usual, the big concern is if Godzilla gets enough screen time. He pretty objectively doesn't, but I don't think that's a bad thing here. Like Shin, it focuses on Godzilla slowly growing and evolving as the show goes on, all while the humans try their hardest to stop the inevitable. I think this is actually done really well. And I do actually like the main two, and we get enough kaiju action before Big G comes in. So it's fine, I guess. We actually get a few notable kaiju here. Anguirus, Rodan, even if he's a big wimp now, and Titanosaurus, and Manda, except not really. Godzilla here is the single strongest version of Godzilla ever created. Godzilla Ultima. An otherworldly eldritch being that tears apart reality by merely existing. It's got thunder thighs and the mouth of animal. I like this design, but yeah, there's some getting used to. As you know, he's supposed to be the final perfected Godzilla in his strongest form across all media. He's gonna get clapped by like 5 different versions of Hulk anyways, who cares? This joke is gonna age so poorly in like a day or so. No, but the kaiju are CGI, while everything else is hand-drawn. And honestly, I like that. It gives them a weird otherworldly feel that fits with the vibe of them. Problems do the same to the vehicles, and I'm sorry, I don't think this car is supposed to be a higher dimensional god being in the show. Oh, and Jet Jaguar of all kaiju also get notable spotlights. He's a robot built by Yoon, who helps them through their travels. I appreciate a pretty minor kaiju getting so much focus. Overall, it's okay. When it comes to having evolving kaiju, it couldn't measure up to the Shin of Godzilla. Chibi Godzilla Rage Again is 2D animated instead of 3D, and the girl from I'm Home isn't here either. Instead, someone else is watching over Chibi Godzilla. The actual motherfucker himself. He's just here and he's animated far more realistically. The series is a lot like Godzillaland. Basically just his own little island where all the kaiju live and they're all friends. It's not the Chibi Mechagodzilla washing up on an island and Chibi Godzilla waking him up by just spitting a laser at him. Well there, yeah, again, it's just a silly kid show. It's definitely cute, but there's not much to say. Stop asking me to do top 35 preschool shows. It would be boring as frick. Look at this freaking sausage Godzilla becomes. Most of these shows are pretty self-contained to their own universes, or just made to sell merch in the case of Chibi, Island, and Godzillaland. Monarch is part of a bigger series, the Monsterverse. I'm not going to explain the Monsterverse to you. Big monsters fight. Kong is there. People want to freak Mothra. This is certainly a questionable thing to make. People truly only care about these films for the kaiju stuff. When in Godzilla series, people just absolutely despise the human stuff in these films. Most because they're made to be inherently dumb, fun, rock'em sock'em big monster films. At least as series went on. Trying to get us to care about new humans with Godzilla being a cameo per episode at best is certainly a big ask. But personally, I love the series. I think the lore it gave us, showing more of Hollow Earth and Skull Island, is really cool. I think that can cover its tracks, and that it obviously can't show a lot of kaiju stuff. Like I'm constantly amazed how much shows nowadays can push the envelope and look near similar quality. We're a long way from drenching Lou Ferrigno in green paint. But even with that, there's no way they would have Godzilla and other kaiju on screen for a significant amount of time. Budget would explode, dude. It is really cool though when he and shockingly Kong also do appear. And Godzilla Minor 64 is a guy. However, sadly, this show did do one thing even more horrific than Godzilla or any other giant monster. It has lesbians. Oh god, how dare they acknowledge people exist? Godzilla loves all gay people, how dare you think differently? The final episode does give Godzilla his well-deserved respect and screen time, and it's very goofy, but hey, it's fun. Again, I actually care about the human stuff. Kurt Russell's weird time-shifted stuff, and the family bond between the leads. Unlike the main boring characters who usually do nothing in the Monsterverse, it has enough interest to hold me until Godzilla freaking eats a dude. I'm out of the ERB references I can squeeze in here. I am so freaking sorry. So that was all of them. Definitely a weird mix of shows, but hey, that's Godzilla for you. Part of his longevity of the series is because he can be anything. I like how we can get dumb, silly action and darker, more horrific stuff. And just a mix of it. That's why this character and franchise is so iconic. You never know what to expect, besides the fact that there's gonna be some giant freaking lizard in it. And like, what more could you want? And that was all of Godzilla's shows. Some on the small screen, some on the computer screen, but overall, Godzilla.
Godzuki! Tell Godzilla to use his lasers on the creature's nucleus!